When it came time to start the horse, Phyllis was a little nervous about starting that early in a horse's career, particularly a big horse like this.
Big horse, a 2-year-old, you don't start him like that.
She was saying 5.5 furlongs. Are you kidding?
There was a 5-furlong race at Delaware, and I talked with Peter, and I said, you know, he's ready to run for 5 furlongs. I know that's not his distance, but don't you think he'd get a lot more experience out of that?
Michael was pretty persuasive and said, you know, we got to start somewhere. This horse is training like he wants to start.
We took him down there, and hopefully he just was going to make a nice run. If he was 3rd or 4th and closed a lot of ground, we would have been delighted.
Union Rags is mowing him down. Union Rags running the big one in his debut. Union Rags on the outside, collars Jake and Elwood, and now Union Rags growing away.
And sure enough, Michael was right on the money. He won, and he won like a good horse.
He just did it the right way, broke, came from the back of the pack, and just galloped way past everybody and did it so easy.
Seeing a big 2-year-old come up, breaking his maiden at Delaware Park, a lot of people immediately began to think he was following the same path as Barbaro. Seeing a Michael Matz 2-year-old do well at Delaware Park is certainly a sign for great things to come in many ways, and certainly marks him out as one to follow.
He went from that to suggest we're going to a stake in Saratoga.
Then they went right to Saratoga, where he dominated in the Saratoga Special.
So Russell and I go up there, and it is pouring with rain.
It was a terrible day. It rained like crazy.
I said, Michael, we're going to scratch. He said, no, we're all the way up here. Let's see if he can run in the mud.
Into the final furlong, and it is Union Rags, just a 2-year-old, frolicking in the mud.
And Phyllis was in the winner's circle crying, couldn't believe that she had a racehorse that could win a graded stake.
It's wonderful to see a big flow of tears when he comes down the lane.
I don't cry very much. I never cry. But my God, when I say that, a horse like that, it just makes me cry. I'm speechless.
Tears of joy.
Yeah.
And then it was on to the Champagne, where he was absolutely brilliant in his first Grade 1 win. Whatever could go wrong during a race did go wrong for Union Rags that day.
It was a pretty steep upward course. The competition got tougher and tougher.
Union Rags is just starting to get underway now, but Union Rags will have to find a way through as they come to the top of the stretch.
You know, they all start making their moves at that bend. And that's where it all counts. Can you get through? Do you go the outside? Do you go the rail?
Union Rags looks for a way through down inside.
You've got possibly half a second to do the right thing or the wrong thing.
Now he looks for the way through outside into the final furlong.
He could not get through till the very last second.
Now there's running room for Union Rags, and Union Rags is full of run.
The Breeders' Cup Juvenile is really hotly anticipated by horse racing fans. It's really the first time you get to see all of these horses together on the national stage. It's the first time you really get to understand how they stack up against one another. Whoever wins the Breeders' Cup Juvenile is very likely to be 2-year-old champion, almost in some ways regardless of what else they've done in their 2-year-old season. And it really marks them out as the Kentucky Derby favorite, even though it's many months away at that point.
Top of the lane, and it's all hands on deck for Hansen now. He has to dig deep and find more, but he is. Now here's Union Rags, and look at him stride out in the center of the track, and Union Rags went wide throughout, but he's coming, and Union Rags is shifting to the outside. Hansen just keeps on going. Hansen is running an absolutely huge one on the inside. Hansen keeps going. Union Rags, Hansen, and Union Rags, Hansen. The more they asked, the more he gave, and Hansen won a thriller.
He didn't win, but he ran a winning race. He actually veered out late in the race, which cost him the race. If the race had been another 5 feet, he would have been in front.
He just seemed to be a little bit in the middle of the track, and he didn't see the other horse until it was a bit too late.
He was out in the middle of the track with so many people there that I just think if he would have been closer to the other horse, that wouldn't have happened.
He had a lot of heart. He really had super bad luck in the race, and immediately after the race, the internet exploded with how much further he had to run and how much harder he had worked than other horses in the race. So I think he really acquitted himself well, and even though he did not win the race, he was really, I think, gained a lot of admirers and really actually raised himself in some people's estimation more than he might have had he won the race.